And welcome to the Ruins of Xenark. This video is going to give you a basic rundown of our out-of-combat HUD. A separate video will be done for the HUD that you get to see in combat. For starters, when you land on our sim, you should get a pop-up asking for permission to use an experience with your avatar. Once you have accepted that, the HUD here will auto-attach to your avatar. Sometimes it can take a few minutes. You can see up at the top above the colorful gear, it has the time of day or night in our case, what the sky is like, temperature, wind, and if there's any sort of special effect. That will be on you every single time you land and will give you up-to-date information. Now, when you want to actually use the HUD, all you have to do is click on this gear and it will populate the larger HUD. It's got 3 menus that you will regularly access outside of combat. The first one being the blue main menu. From this menu, you can roll, and you see you get a little pop-up box, and then you simply type in the reason for your roll. This can be done if you're sometimes rolling for loot or just rolling off against another person and you need a random 1 through 100 number. You hit submit and you will see you then get a pop-up in your general chat showing what you rolled out of 100. The next thing that you can do out of combat is you can heal. You can heal yourself or someone else. We have a volunteer here, Shirayuki, who has volunteered to help us out. So it looks like she's got a couple hit points missing, so we will attempt to heal her. You target her somewhere in the middle, and then the reason for your heal. And of course, this would always be preceded by roleplay first, but you type in just whatever little blurb you want to put in here. It can be funny, it can be serious, and hit submit. And you can see that I have now healed her for 30 hit points. And looking up at the top, you can see that she's now almost full. Something else that you can do is a skill roll. This is typically used if you're trying to pickpocket, trip someone, just pretty much anything that would be your skill versus their skill. So, of course, as always, target, and you can ignore if you weren't actually ready for it. Then you click skill. Click ready, and then you roll. This of course rolls 1 die 100 plus your skill versus 1 die 100 plus their skill. Something else that you can do out of combat is a willpower attack. Again, this is something that does absolutely no damage. It rolls your 1 die 100 plus your willpower stat versus 1 die 100 plus their inner strength stat. This could be used if you're trying to influence them, if you're trying to cast a spell where you make them think that you're friendly, pretty much anything that would be your will against their resistance to it. So you click ready, and of course, as always, proceed with roleplay. And again, as you see, we always get our roll. From here, the other things that you can do with the HUD are, as always, you can set your health. When you have completed a combat, if it was just a friendly spar, you can always just reset your health. Or sometimes maybe you're in the mood to roleplay being wounded and you want to be healed. So it'll tell you what your maximum hit points are and what the minimum is, and you can set your hit points anything in the middle there. depending on how injured you would like to be. Your hit points will automatically regenerate. You can regenerate 20 hit points per hour on sim. And of course, you can always do a role play where you heal yourself or go to someone else to be healed. Now, our HUD is very versatile. We can turn those hit points on or off so that nobody can see how many hit points you have. And we also have a button here on the main menu that gives you character information, your name, whatever name you've chosen for in your HUD, your level, how many experience points you have, your crafting level, your current hit points, and the number of marks you have. Marks are our currency. It's not required to use them, but we do have vendors that you can sell items to or buy items from, which can be quite useful if you're doing a lot of crafting or need to buy some armor or items for your character. So that is it for the main menu. The next menu we're going to cover is items. This is a case of your inventory in your HUD. You can inspect and see what someone else has as far as items. Oh, I just inspected self. That gives us a pop-up. And sometimes it can be kind of long depending on how much you have public or equipped. But it will give you the complete rundown, what it's called, what it does, whether it's equipped or not, and then inspect other will do the same thing on whomever you are targeted on. And it will tell us what she's holding as long as she doesn't have it hidden, which you can do. You can have anything that you do not have equipped hidden. If it's hidden, it doesn't exist. You can't use it for your character, but no one can see it either. And then, of course, we've got our own inventory. Inspect will show things like blessings, curses, any potions you have equipped, things like that. Inventory is just flat out your items. Not mean to do that. Okay. In this case, it'll show I've got a deck of scribes, I've got liquid mana, petite crafting hammer. It's very short, so you won't see the whole thing. But if you don't remember what it is, you can click on it. Click on any of the words. It'll tell you what it is. If you have a masterwork ability, you'll be able to see it here. What its bonuses are, whether it's equipped, whether it's public or private. And you will also see you can give it to someone else. You can destroy it. You can unequip it. So just for example, I'm going to give 1 unit of liquid mana to my friend. It's going to ask to confirm, do you really want to do this? And I'm going to say yes. And now it's been removed from my inventory, and Shira will have it. So I hope she enjoys that free liquid mana. That was a potion that could be consumed. Now, beyond items which are equipable and do things, you can also have your materials. These are things that you do a role play where you find them on sim and you can collect them, and these materials are what are used to create items if you're into the crafting thing. So you can see I've got several, and these lists will cycle through until you've run out of space, and it will show you all of the materials that you have. Now, some people don't really want to craft, but they do want to have items in their inventory, and that's totally cool. You can create an item, call it whatever you like, golden ring. And you can give it a description. A pretty golden ring that I found. And I only want to have one of them. Now, in my inventory, I will have one golden ring. It will do absolutely nothing. It will not increase your stats. It is just simply for pure roleplay purposes, whatever you would like to have. Next, we will go over crafting separately, but if you are crafting, this is the button you will use. You simply click it, and I'm going to say just testing for now. Of course, you would do a role play and follow all of the crafting role play rules, and then it gives you your total score. And depending on what you're trying to craft, this will tell you whether you succeed at the crafting challenge level or not. This is, of course, rolls a 1 die 100 plus your crafting level or points. The next menu we're going to cover, and the last one for today, is the info menu. From here, we can set our name. This is the name that will show up in your HUD. In my case, I'm going to go with Rena, the storyteller. Now, whenever I roleplay, I can use \2. And when I post, it'll use my name in the HUD rather than Rena or Katharina Kerkurian, whatever I'm using for SL. I can also use \4, and that will actually do the emote, which removes the semicolon. Now it's just a normal sentence. All right, so set title. That sets the words that are over your head. As you can see, that just changed. You can put quite a bit of information in here, a lot of lines. Some people just put their name. Other people can put their scent, their injury status, whatever you like. It's all fine to put in there. Now, if you don't want to use our HUD and want to use something else, you can always set title to nothing. And you can turn the chatter on and off. And now if I use \2, you can see it does absolutely nothing. So you can use your own titler or your own HUD for your roleplay if you choose. Next, we've got edit stats. This will show you how many points you have to assign, all of our stats, armor, attack, damage, evasion, inner strength, healing, health, skill, and willpower. There is a maximum number of points that you can put into the different stats, and there's information on that all out on the website that explains what all they do. But if you have points to spend, you simply click next to the one you want to spend it on. In this case, it's telling me I don't have any points to spend. This is giving you not only the number of points you put in it, but also any items that you have that are adding a bonus. It will be displayed here, which is how I got to 48 skill, because the max is 40, and then I have an item equipped that gives me +8. And if you decide you don't like your stats, if it's not working out for you, or even if you play multiple characters, you can once every day choose to reset. That's this button here, and it will take all the stats, zero them out, and you can refill them as you like. Beyond that, we have our HUD site. This is our external HUD site, which will have all of the information again. And it should log in on your own personal information. It'll tell you what damage you're doing, skill. You can see much more information about your inventory, your materials, your blessings and curses, your crafting perks that you've chosen, and of course all of your experience. You'll see you can get experience just for being on sim, and you can get experience for turning in role plays and taking part in events. Scrolling down much slower, you can see your crafting experience. It'll tell you how much crafting credit you've gotten for craftings, gatherings, and what have you. And at the very bottom, it shows all of the roles you've ever done. So if there's ever a question, if there's cheating going on or anything like that, we can always see. It'll show exactly what you rolled, and this is how much your roll was plus whatever your bonuses are. Beyond that, that's our HUD site, and then if you ever need to get to the HUD site and you have forgotten your password, you can hit reset password, and that will allow you to reset up your password for the Xenark outside HUD website. All right, the last three buttons that I need to discuss with you are the minimize button, which is right here, and it's available on every single menu. Just the 4 arrows pointing inward. We'll always shrink this and make it go away back to the small gear. On the opposite side, we have the red X button. This will completely detach your HUD. It will make it go away. You'll have to res a new one or just wait for it to reattach. And finally, we'll cover this much more in the combat video, but when you want to join combat, you would target someone else and click challenge, and that will open up the combat menu, and everything will get started from there. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope you have a great day and enjoy your role play.